Maria walked down the old street with heavy steps. The rain had stopped, but water still dripped from the broken roof above her head. She pulled her thin coat closer to her body. The cold wind made her shiver. She had been walking for 3 hours. Now, her feet hurt and her stomach made loud sounds. She had not eaten anything since yesterday morning. A small bag in her hand held everything she owned in this world. 2 old shirts, 1 pair of pants, and a small book her mother gave her. Long ago, the city looked different at night. During the day, people filled the streets. Cars moved fast and shops stayed busy. But now, everything felt empty and quiet. Only a few streetlights worked. Most of them blinked on and off like dying stars. Maria stopped in front of a small coffee shop. Warm yellow light came through the windows. She could see people inside, sitting at small tables. They drank hot coffee and ate fresh bread. The smell made her mouth water. She put her hand on the cold glass window and watched them, a man inside. The shop looked at her through the window. He had kind eyes and gray hair. He smiled at her and waved his hand. Maria felt scared and stepped back from the window. She was not used to people being nice to her. The man got up from his table and walked to the door. He opened it, and cool air rushed inside the warm shop. "Are you okay?" he asked. His voice was soft and gentle. Maria did not know what to say. She looked at her old shoes and shook her head. "I am fine," she said, but her voice was very quiet. "You look cold and tired," the man said. "Would you like to come inside? I can buy you some hot coffee and food." Maria wanted to say yes, but she felt afraid. Her father always told her not to trust strange people. "Should go," she said, and started to walk away. "Wait," the man called after her. "My name is Thomas. I work at the school down the street. I help children who need food and a safe place to stay." Maria stopped walking but did not turn around. She had heard about people like Thomas before. Some were good and some were bad. How could she know which one he was? Thomas walked closer to her, but not too close. Did not want to scare her more. "I have a daughter about your age," he said. "Her name's Anna. She is at home with her mother right now, probably doing her homework." Something in his voice made Maria turn around. Thomas looked at her with the same kind eyes she saw through the window. He did not look like the bad men her father warned her about. "How old do you think I am?" Maria asked. Thomas smiled. "Maybe 15 or 16? "I am 17, Maria said. "I am not a child anymore." "You are right," Thomas said. "But even grown people need help sometimes." "I needed help once, too, when I was young like you." Maria looked at the warm coffee shop again. The people inside looked happy and safe. She had not felt safe in a very long time. Not since her mother died 2 years ago. Not since her father started drinking too much. Not since she had to leave home 3 weeks ago. "What kind of help do you give?" she asked. "We have a place where young people can sleep when they have no home," Thomas said. "They get food, clean clothes, and help. Finding work or going back to school. Some stay for a few days, some stay longer." Maria thought about this. She'd been sleeping outside for 3 weeks now, sometimes in the park, sometimes behind old buildings. She was always cold and always hungry. Her clothes were dirty and she smelled bad. "Is it free?" she asked. "Yes, it is free," Thomas said. "We just want to help." Maria looked at Thomas again. He waited for her to decide. He did not try to push her or make her hurry. This made her feel a little safer. "Can I leave if I want to?" she asked. "Of course," Thomas said. "Tss, you can leave any time. You want, no one will stop you." The wind blew harder, and Maria shivered again. She was so tired of being cold and hungry, so tired of being afraid all the time. "Okay," she said very quietly. "I will come with you." Thomas smiled, but not too big. He did not want to make her feel uncomfortable. "Good," he said. "Let me get my coat, and we can walk there together. It is not far." Thomas went back into the coffee shop and came out with a warm brown coat. He also carried a small bag. "I got you some hot soup and bread," he said. "You can eat it while we walk." Maria took the bag. It felt warm in her hands. She opened it and saw a cup of soup and fresh bread wrapped in paper. The smell made her stomach make loud sounds again. "Thank you," she said. These were the first kind words anyone had said to her in weeks. They started walking down the street together. Drank the hot soup as they walked. It warmed her body from the inside. The bread was soft and tasted better than anything she had eaten in a long time. "How long have you been living on the street?" Thomas asked. 3 weeks, Maria said. "Maybe more." "I lost count. That must have been very hard," Thomas said. Maria nodded. She did not want to talk about it yet. Maybe later, when she felt safer. They walked past many old buildings. Some had broken windows. Some had people sleeping in the doorways. Maria recognized some of them. They were like her, people with no homes and no families to help them. "Do you help all of them?" Maria asked, pointing to a woman sleeping under old newspapers. "We try to," Thomas said. "But there are so many, and we are not very big. We can only help a few people at a time." "Why do you do it?" Maria asked. Thomas was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Because everyone deserves a chance to have a good life. Everyone deserves to feel safe and loved." Maria thought about this. She could not remember the last time she felt loved. Her mother loved her, but her mother was gone now. Her father loved her too, once. But the drinking changed him into someone else. They turned a corner and saw a big old house. It had many windows, and warm light came from most of them. The sign in front said, "Safe Harbor Home for Youth." "This is it," Thomas said. "This is where I work, and this is where you can stay." Maria looked at the house. It looked friendly and warm. She could see young people through some of the windows. They were reading books, talking, and watching television. They looked happy, but Maria still felt scared. What if this was not real? What if Thomas was lying to her? What if something bad happened to her here? Thomas seemed to understand her fear. "Would you like to meet some of the other young people who live here?" he asked. "You can talk to them and see what they think about this place." Maria nodded. That sounded like a good idea. She wanted to hear from people like her, people who had been homeless and scared. They walked up the steps to the front door. Thomas used a key to open it. Warm air and the smell of cooking food came out to meet them. "Welcome to Safe Harbor," Thomas said. Maria stepped inside the warm house and felt the heat touch her cold skin. The inside looked much bigger than she thought it would be. There were soft chairs, a big television, and bookshelves filled with many books. The walls had pictures of smiling young people. A woman with short black hair came to meet them. She wore a blue shirt and jeans. Her smile was warm and real. "Hello," she said to Maria. "I'm Sarah. I work here with Thomas." Maria said hello very quietly. She still felt nervous about meeting new people. "Sarah runs our kitchen," Thomas said. "She makes the best food you will ever eat." Sarah laughed. "Thomas always says that. Are you hungry, dear? Just finished making dinner?" Maria nodded. The soup and bread Thomas gave her were good, but she was still very hungry. She had not eaten a full meal in many days. "Let me show you around first," Sarah said. "Then you can eat and meet some of the others." They walked through the house together. Sarah showed Maria the big kitchen where several young people were cleaning dishes and putting food away. She showed her the living room where some teenagers sat reading books and playing quiet games. "How many people live here?" Maria asked. "Right now we have 12 young people staying with us," Sarah said. "Some have been here for a few weeks, some for many months. Each person is different." They walked up the stairs to see the bedrooms. The walls were painted bright colors like yellow and light blue. Each room had 2 beds, a desk, and a closet. "We'll share, you will share." "A room with another girl," Sarah said. "Her name is Jenny. She has been here for 2 months now." Maria looked into the room. It was small but clean and warm. The beds had soft blankets and white pillows. There was a window that looked out at the street below. "It looks nice," Maria said. "The bathroom is down the hall," Sarah said. "You can take a hot shower anytime you want. We have soap, shampoo, and clean towels." Maria had not taken a hot shower in 3 weeks. The idea made her feel excited and scared at the same time. They went back downstairs to the kitchen. Several young people sat around a big wooden table. They were eating and talking quietly. When Maria walked in, they all looked up at her. "Everyone, this is Maria," Thomas said. "She might be staying with us for a while." A boy with red hair and many freckles smiled at her. "Hi, Maria. I am David. I have been here for 6 weeks now," a girl with long brown hair waved.
"I am Carmen."
Welcome. Other young people said hello to. Maria felt surprised. They all seemed happy and friendly. She thought they might be mean or angry like some of the people she met on the streets. Sarah put a plate of food in front of Maria. It had chicken, rice, green beans, and bread. The smell made her mouth water. Eat as much as you want, Sarah said. There is plenty more. Maria started eating slowly at first, then faster. The food tasted wonderful. It was warm and had good flavors. She had forgotten how good real food could taste. Where did you come from? Asked Jenny, a girl with short blonde hair. You. She looked about the same age as Maria. Maria stopped eating and looked around the table. Everyone was listening, but they did not look mean or curious in a bad way. They looked like they understood. I lived on the streets for 3 weeks, Maria said quietly. Before that, I lived with my father, but he drank too much alcohol. He became angry all the time. Jenny nodded. My mother used drugs, she said. She forgot to take care of me and my little brother. The police took us away from her. Where is your brother now? Maria asked. He lives with our grandmother in another city, Jenny said. I will go live with them too when I finish school here. David put down his fork. My parents died in a car accident, he said. I had no other family, so I lived in different foster homes. Some were good, some were bad. I ran away from the last one. Maria felt sad for all of them, but she also felt less alone. These young people understood what it was like to have no safe place to live. What do you do here all day? Maria asked. We go to school, Carmen said. There's a small school right here in the house. We learn reading, writing, math, and other things. I work in a store downtown 3 days a week, David said. Sarah helped me get the job. I am saving money so I can get my own apartment someday. I am learning to cook, Jenny said. Sarah teaches me. Maybe I will work in a restaurant when I am older. Maria listened to all of this. It sounded good, but also hard to believe. Could her life really change like theirs did? After dinner, Thomas and Sarah sat with Maria in a small office. They asked her questions about her life, her family, and what she wanted to do. We need to know these things so we can help you in the best way, Sarah said. You do not have to tell us everything today. You can take your time. Maria told them about her mother dying from cancer 2 years ago. She told them how her father started drinking more and more after that. She told them how he lost his job and became angry at everything. He never hit me, Maria said. But he said mean things. He said I was the reason my mother died. Said I was useless and stupid. Thomas looked sad when she said this. That was not true, he said. Your mother getting sick was not your fault. You were not useless or stupid. Maria had heard these words before from her mother, but she had forgotten them. Hearing Thomas say them made her feel a little better. What happened 3 weeks ago? Sarah asked gently. My father brought home a new woman, Maria said. She did not like me. She told my father I had to leave. He said okay. Maria remembered that day very clearly. She packed her small bag and walked out of the house. Her father did not say goodbye. He did not say he was sorry. He just watched her leave. That must have been very hard, Sarah said. I thought I could take care of myself, Maria said. But living on the street is harder than I thought it would be. You're very brave, Thomas said. Takes courage to survive on your own for 3 weeks. Maria had never thought of herself as brave. She just did what she had to do to stay alive. What happens now? Now you can rest and think about what you want to do, Sarah said. You can stay here tonight, and tomorrow we can talk more about the future. What if I want to leave? Maria asked. Then you can leave, Thomas said. Us a chance to help you. Jenny showed Maria to their room upstairs. The other girl had already put her things away in half of the closet and on one of the desks. The bed is very comfortable, Jenny said. Much better than sleeping outside. Gave Maria some clean clothes to wear, a soft blue shirt and warm pants. These should fit you, she said. Tomorrow Sarah will take you shopping for your own clothes. Maria held the clean clothes in her hands. They felt soft and smelled like flowers. She could not remember the last time she wore clean clothes. Is this place really as good as it seems? Maria asked Jenny when they were alone. Jenny sat on her bed and thought for a moment. It is not perfect, she said.
Oh.
Sometimes there are rules you do not like. Sometimes the other kids can be difficult. But Thomas and Sarah really care about us. They want us to have good lives. Are you happy here? Maria asked. Yes, Jenny said. For the first time in a long time, I feel safe. I sleep well at night because I know I will have food tomorrow and a warm place to stay. Maria nodded. She wanted to feel that way too. That night, Maria took a long, hot shower. The warm water felt amazing on her skin. She washed her hair with sweet-smelling shampoo and used soap that made her skin feel soft. When she got into the clean bed, she could not believe how comfortable it was. The sheets were soft, and the pillow was just right. Outside, she could hear the rain starting to fall again. But she was warm and dry inside. For the first time in 3 weeks, Maria felt safe. Maria woke up when sunlight came through the bedroom window. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she remembered the warm house, the kind people, and the soft bed. She sat up and looked around the room. Jenny was already awake and getting dressed. Good morning, she said with a smile. How did you sleep? Very well, Maria said. It was true. She had slept better than she had in many weeks. No cold wind, no strange sounds, no fear of dangerous people finding her. Breakfast starts. At 7:30, Jenny said. Hera makes pancakes on Saturday mornings. They are really good. Maria got dressed in the clean clothes Jenny had given her. They fit almost perfectly. She looked at herself in the small mirror on the wall. Her face looked cleaner and less tired than it had in weeks. Downstairs, the kitchen smelled like pancakes and coffee. Several young people sat around the big table eating and talking quietly. Thomas was there too, reading a newspaper and drinking coffee from a white cup. Good morning, Maria, he said. How was your first night? Good, Maria said. She felt shy talking to him in front of everyone else. Sarah put a plate of pancakes in front of her. They were golden brown and had butter melting on top. There was also orange juice and fresh fruit. Thank you, Maria said. The pancakes tasted sweet and warm. She ate them slowly, wanting to enjoy every bite. After breakfast, Thomas asked Maria if she wanted to talk about her plans. They sat in the same small office where they had talked the night before. I have been thinking, Maria said. I want to stay here for a while if that is okay. Thomas smiled. That is very okay. We are happy to have you. What do I need to do? Maria asked. First, we need to get you some of your own clothes and things you need, Thomas said. Sarah will take you shopping today. Then on Monday, you can start school with the other young people. School? Maria asked. She had not been to school in almost a year. Her father stopped making her go after her mother died. We have a small school right here in the house, Thomas said. The teacher is very nice. She helps each person learn at their own speed. Some people need to catch up on things they missed. Maria felt worried. What if I am too far behind? What if I cannot learn as fast as the others? Then you take more time, Thomas said. There is no hurry. The important thing is that you keep trying. After they talked, Sarah took Maria to a store in town. It was a big store with many clothes for young people. Maria had never been shopping like this before. Her mother used to buy her clothes, but they never had much money. Pick out things you like, Sarah said. Need some shirts, pants, a warm coat, and shoes. Also some things for sleeping and for taking showers. Maria walked around the store looking at everything. There were so many choices. She picked out simple things that looked comfortable. 2 pairs of jeans, 3 shirts, a warm red coat, and new shoes that fit her feet well. Can I really have all of this? Yes, Sarah said. There are people in the city who give money to help young people like you. They want you to have what you need. At the store, Maria also got soap, shampoo, a toothbrush, and other things for taking care of herself. Sarah showed her how to pick out the right sizes and what to look for in good quality items. When they got back to the house, Maria put her new things away in her half of the closet. Everything was clean and new and belonged to her. She had not owned this many nice things in a very long time. That afternoon, Jenny showed Maria around the neighborhood. They walked to a small park where some children were playing on swings and slides. They went to a library where people could read books and use computers for free. I come here sometimes to read, Jenny said. They have many books, and it is very quiet. They also walked past the school where some of the older young people from the house went during the day. It was a big brick building with many windows. David goes there, Jenny said. He is trying to finish his last year so he can graduate. After that, he wants to go to college. College? Maria asked. She had never thought about college. Her parents never talked about it. Some people from our house have gone to college, Jenny said. Thomas and Sarah helped them apply and find money to pay for it. That evening, all the young people in the house had dinner together again. Maria sat between Jenny and Carmen. Felt more comfortable talking to them now? What was your favorite subject in school? Carmen asked her. Maria thought about this. I liked reading, she said. My mother used to read stories to me when I was little. Loved hearing about different places and people. Ms. Rodriguez, our teacher, has many books, David said. She lets us read whatever we want after we finish our regular work. After dinner, some of the young people watched television in the living room. Others played card games or read books. Maria sat with Jenny and looked through some magazines. Do you miss your old life? Jenny asked quietly. Maria thought about this question. I miss my mother, she said. And I miss my father from before he started drinking. But I do not miss being afraid all the time. I understand, Jenny said. I miss my little brother very much. But I do not miss worrying about whether my mother would come home or forget to buy food. That night, before going to sleep, Maria wrote in a small notebook that Sarah had given her. She wrote about her first day at Safe Harbor, about the new clothes, and about how it felt to have enough food to eat. She also wrote about her mother. She tried to remember all the good times they had together before her mother got sick, reading books together, cooking dinner, talking about Maria's dreams for the future. On Sunday morning, some of the young people went to church with Thomas and Sarah. Maria decided to go too. She had not been to church since her mother's funeral, but she wanted to try new things. The church was small and friendly. The people there knew Thomas and Sarah and were kind to the young people from the house. They did not ask difficult questions or stare at them. The minister talked about second chances and how everyone deserves to be loved. Maria thought about this. Maybe she did deserve a second chance. Maybe her life could be different now. After church, they had lunch at the house, and Thomas sat down with Maria to talk about school again. Tomorrow, you will meet Ms. Rodriguez. He said, she will give you some tests to see what you already know and what you need to learn. Will the tests be hard? Maria asked. They are not tests to pass or fail, Thomas said. They are just to help Ms. Rodriguez understand how to teach. You best. What if I do badly? And Ms. Rodriguez will know what to work on with you, Thomas said. She has taught many young people who had to stop school for different reasons. She is very patient and kind. That evening, Maria felt nervous about starting school the next day. What if she had forgotten too much?
What if the other student
were much smarter than her? Jenny seemed to understand her worry. I was scared too on my first day, she said. But Ms. Rodriguez made me feel welcome right away. The other students were helpful, not mean. Really? Maria asked. Really? Jenny said. Everyone here knows what it is like to have problems. No one judges you for what happened before you. Came here. Maria felt a little better hearing this. She tried to remember what her mother used to tell her when she was worried about something. You are stronger than you think you are, her mother would say. You can do hard things. Maybe her mother was right. Maybe she could do this hard thing too. Before going to sleep, Maria looked out the window at the quiet street below. 3 weeks ago, she had been walking on streets like this one, cold and hungry and afraid. Now she was warm and safe and had people who cared about her. It felt almost too good to be true. But Jenny had been here for 2 months and David for 6 weeks. If they could make it work, maybe she could too. Maria closed her eyes and tried to imagine what tomorrow would bring. For the first time in a long time, she felt hopeful about the future. Monday morning came too fast for Maria. She woke up feeling nervous butterflies in her stomach. Today she would start school for the first time in almost a year. She got dressed in one of her new shirts and jeans, but her hands were shaking as she brushed her hair. You look nice, Jenny said. That blue shirt is a good color on you. Thank you, Maria said. I am scared about school. Ms. Rodriguez is really nice, Jenny said again. She will not make you feel bad if you do not know something. At breakfast, Thomas sat next to Maria. Are you ready for your first day? He asked. I think so, Maria said, but her voice showed she was not sure. Remember, this is just to see what you know, Thomas said. There is no right or wrong. Just do your best. After breakfast, Thomas took Maria to a room on the first floor that she had not seen before. It had 6 desks, a big whiteboard, and shelves full of books. Sunlight came through 2 large windows, making the room feel bright and welcoming. A woman with curly brown hair and glasses sat at the teacher's desk. She looked up and smiled when Maria walked in. You must be Maria, she said. I'm Ms. Rodriguez. I am very happy to meet you. Ms. Rodriguez had a warm voice that reminded Maria of her mother. This made her feel a little less nervous. Thomas told me a little about you, Ms. Rodriguez said. But I would like to hear from you. Can you tell me about your school experience? Maria sat down at one of the desks. I was in 10th grade when I stopped going to school, she said. That was almost a year ago. Before that, I was a good student. I liked reading and writing, but math was harder for me. That is very helpful to know, Ms. Rodriguez said. Many students find math challenging. We can work on that together. Ms. Rodriguez gave Maria some papers with questions on them. They were not like the big tests Maria remembered from her old school. These questions seemed gentler and more like conversations on paper. The reading questions asked Maria to read a short story and then answer questions about what happened and what the characters were feeling. Maria found this easy and even enjoyable. The story was about a girl who moved to a new town and had to make new friends. The writing section asked Maria to write about a time when she had to be brave. Maria thought about this for a long time, and she wrote about leaving her father's house and living on the streets. She wrote about meeting Thomas and deciding to trust him. When she finished writing, she felt surprised by how much she had written. The math section was harder. Maria had forgotten some of the things she learned in 9th grade. She could do basic addition and subtraction, but the problems with fractions and percentages made her feel confused. Do not worry about the ones you cannot do, Ms. Rodriguez said, when she saw Maria looking frustrated. Just try your best on each problem. After the tests, Ms. Rodriguez looked through Maria's answers while Maria waited. The teacher made small notes on the papers, but she did not look unhappy or disappointed. You did very well on reading and writing, Ms. Rodriguez said. Your writing about being brave was excellent. You have a natural way with words. Maria felt proud hearing this. Her mother used to say she was a good writer, but Maria had forgotten about that. The math will need some work, Ms. Rodriguez continued. But that is perfectly normal. We'll start with reviewing the basics and build up from there. Will I be behind the other students? Maria asked. Everyone here is working at their own level, Ms. Rodriguez said. Jenny is working on different things than David, and Carmen is studying different subjects than both of them. We do not compare students to each other. We only care about each person making progress. This made Maria feel much better. In her old school, she always felt like she had to compete with other students. Here, it seemed like everyone just wanted to help each other learn. The next day, Maria started regular classes with the other students. There were only 5 students in the classroom, so Ms. Rodriguez could give each person lots of attention. Maria sat next to Carmen, who was working on a science project about plants. On her other side, David was reading a thick book about history. Jenny was practicing math problems similar to the ones that had been hard for Maria. Ms. Rodriguez gave Maria some books to start with. One was a novel about a young woman who became a doctor. Another was a workbook for practicing basic math skills. The third was a notebook for writing in every day. I want you to write in this notebook every morning, Ms. Rodriguez said. You can write about anything you want, your feelings, your dreams, things that happen to you, or stories you make up. Writing every day will help you become an even better writer. Maria liked this idea. She had always enjoyed writing, but she had not done much of it in the past year. For the first few days, school felt strange but good. Maria had forgotten how much she enjoyed learning new things. She read her novel during lunch breaks and worked on math problems in the evenings. The other students were friendly and helpful. When Maria got confused about a math problem, Jenny would quietly show her a different way to solve it. When David finished reading his history book, told everyone interesting facts he had learned, Carmen was working on growing small plants in pots on the windowsill. She let Maria help her water them and measure how much they grew each day. Science is not just about memorizing facts, Carmen told her. It is about watching and learning from what you see. But some days were harder than others. On Thursday of her first week, Maria felt frustrated with a math lesson about fractions. She could not understand why the numbers worked the way they did. She put her head down on her desk and felt like crying. Ms. Rodriguez came over and sat in the chair next to her. "What is wrong?" she asked quietly. "I am stupid," Maria said. "I cannot understand this math. Maybe I should not be in school." "You are not stupid," Ms. Rodriguez said firmly. "You're learning." "Learning is hard work and sometimes it feels frustrating. That does not mean you cannot do it." Ms. Rodriguez showed Maria the fractions using pieces of colored paper. She cut the paper into parts and showed how the fractions represented real things. Suddenly, the numbers made more sense to Maria. "I think I understand now," Maria said. "Good, Ms. Rodriguez said. "Remember, if something is confusing, ask for help. That is not being stupid. That is being smart." That evening at dinner, Maria told the others about her day. "I was frustrated with math, but Ms. Rodriguez helped me understand it better." "I felt the same way when I started," David said. "I'd been out of school for 2 years. I thought I would never catch up, but Ms. Rodriguez is very patient." "The important thing is not to give up," Jenny said. "Some days are harder than others, but it gets easier." After dinner, Maria sat in the living room writing in her daily notebook. She wrote about her frustration with math and how Ms. Rodriguez had helped her. She also wrote about how different this school was from her old school. At her old school, teachers sometimes made students feel bad if they did not understand something quickly. Here, Ms. Rodriguez seemed happy to explain things as many times as needed. Maria also wrote about her dreams. She had started thinking about what she wanted to do with her life. Maybe she could become a teacher like Ms. Rodriguez. Or maybe she could write stories for other young people who had difficult lives. Before she went to sleep, Maria looked out her bedroom window at the stars. A month ago, she had slept outside under these same stars, cold and afraid and hungry. Now she was warm and safe and learning new things every day. She thought about her mother and wished she could tell her about this new life. Her mother would be proud of her for not giving up, for accepting help, and for working hard in school. "I am going to make something good of my life," Maria whispered to the stars. "I promise." 2 weeks later, Maria felt much more comfortable at Safe Harbor home. She had a daily routine now. Wake up at 7, eat breakfast with the others, go to school, eat lunch, study more, help with house chores, eat dinner, and spend the evening reading or talking with her friends. Yes, friends. Maria was surprised to realize that Jenny, Carmen, and David had become her friends. She had not had real friends in a very long time. On this particular morning, Sarah knocked on Maria's bedroom door. "Maria, can you come downstairs? Thomas wants to talk to you about something." Maria felt worried. Had she done something wrong? Was Thomas going to ask her to leave? She got dressed quickly and went downstairs to the small office. Thomas was sitting at his desk with some papers in front of him. He smiled when Maria came in, which made her feel a little better. "Good morning, Maria," he said. "Please sit down. I have some news for you." Maria sat in the chair across from his desk. Her heart was beating fast. "I have been talking to some people about your situation," Thomas said. "There is a program that helps young people like you. It can provide more support for your education and help you plan for your future." "What kind of program?" Maria asked. "It is called the Youth Independence Program," Thomas said. "They help young people who have been homeless or who have left difficult family situations. It can help you finish school, learn job skills, and eventually get your own apartment." This sounded good, but Maria felt scared too. "Does that mean I have to leave here?" "Not right away," Thomas said. "You can stay here while you are in the program. But eventually the goal is to help you become independent and live on your own." Maria thought about this. Living on her own sounded scary. She was just starting to feel safe and comfortable at Safe Harbor. "What if I am not ready?" she asked. "Then you take more time," Thomas said. This program can last up to 2 years. Some people need more time than others. There is no rush. Thomas showed Maria some papers about the program. It would help her finish high school and then either go to college or learn a trade like cooking, computer skills, or working with children. The program also helps you learn important life skills, Thomas said. Things like managing money, finding a job, and taking care of an apartment. Can I think about it? Maria asked. Of course, Thomas said. Take all the time you need. I think this could be a good opportunity for you. That day in school, Maria had trouble concentrating on her lessons. She kept thinking about the Youth Independence program. Part of her was excited about the idea of having her own apartment someday, but another part of her was afraid of leaving the safety of Safe Harbor. During lunch, she told Jenny about the conversation with Thomas. That sounds like a great opportunity, Jenny said. I wish I could do something like that. Why can't you? Maria asked. I am going to live with my grandmother and little brother, Jenny said. Remember? But I am happy for you. You could really build a good life for yourself. That evening, Maria called a meeting with all her friends in the living room. She told them about the program and asked for their advice. I think you should do it, David said. I am trying to get into a similar program. These opportunities do not come along very often. But what if I fail? Maria asked. What if I cannot handle living on my own? And you ask for help, Carmen said. That is what we have learned here. There is no shame in asking for help when you need it. Maria spent the next few days thinking about the decision. She talked to Ms. Rodriguez about it during school. What do you think I should do? Maria asked. I think you are much stronger than you realize, Ms. Rodriguez said. When you first came here, you were scared and had no confidence. Look at how much you have grown in just a few weeks. It was true. Maria had learned a lot in her time at Safe Harbor. She was doing well in school, she had made friends, and she felt more confident about herself. The program would help you continue your education, Ms. Rodriguez said. You could finish high school and maybe go to college. You have a talent for writing. You could study that in college. College still seemed like an impossible dream to Maria, but maybe it was not as impossible as she thought. On Friday evening, Maria made her decision. She found Thomas in his office and knocked on the door. I want to apply for the Youth Independence program, she said. Thomas smiled. I think that is a wonderful decision. I will help you fill out the application. The application asked many questions about Maria's life, her goals, and what kind of help she needed. Some of the questions were hard to answer. What did she want to do with her life? Where did she see herself in 5 years? Maria had never thought that far ahead before. She had been too busy just trying to survive each day. But now she could think about the future. She wrote that she wanted to finish high school and maybe go to college. She wanted to learn how to take care of herself and live independently. She also wrote that she wanted to help other young people who were in situations like hers had been. That is a beautiful goal, Thomas said when he read her application. You could make a real difference in other people's lives. 2 weeks later, Thomas called Maria into his office again. This time his smile was even bigger. You have been accepted into the Youth Independence program, he said. Congratulations. Maria felt excited and scared at the same time. When do I start? Next month, Thomas said. A woman named Lisa will be your counselor. We'll meet with you once a week to help you plan your goals and work toward them. Will I still live here? Maria asked. For now, yes, Thomas said. But in a few months, when you are ready, the program will help you find your own apartment. You will get some money to help pay for rent and food while you finish school. That night, Maria could not sleep. So much was changing in her life. 6 weeks ago, she had been sleeping on the streets with no hope for the future. Now she was in school, had friends, and was accepted into a program that could help her build a real life. She got up and went to the window. The street below was quiet and peaceful. A few months ago, she had walked down streets like this one, cold and afraid. Now she was looking down at the street from a warm, safe room. Maria thought about her mother. She wished her mother could see her now. She wished she could tell her about Safe Harbor, about her friends, about school, and about the new program. I am going to make you proud, Mama, she whispered to the stars. I am going to build a good life. The next morning at breakfast, Maria told everyone about being accepted into the program. They all congratulated her and said they were proud of her. "You deserve this opportunity," Sarah said. "You've worked very hard." "I am going to miss you when you get your own apartment," Jenny said. "I will visit all the time," Maria promised. "And maybe someday I can help other young people. The way you all help me." David nodded. "That would be amazing. You could tell them that it is possible to change your life, even when things seem hopeless." Maria realized that David was right. Her story could help other people. She could show them that even when life seems impossible, there is always hope for something better. She thought about the girl she had been 6 weeks ago, walking the streets alone and afraid. That girl could never have imagined the life Maria had now. This was just the beginning. Maria looked around the table at her friends, at Thomas and Sarah, and at the warm, safe kitchen where they all ate together every morning. She felt grateful for all of them, but she also felt ready for the next step in her journey. She was ready to start building her own life.